You know the thing that the lady on the podcast said, don't love your job, job your love.
Yeah. That was the.
No. If you deep it,
Okay,
it's a actual paradoxical statement.
Yeah.
Because what she's
Okay,
saying
explain
in
to me.
essence.
Hello, guys, and welcome to the Just to Kick It is a Blessing podcast. Welcome to the podcast where it's all about time, where we teach, inspire, motivate, entertain through the art of storytelling. Guys, before I get into this episode, I really just want to thank you so much for all the love and support that this channel has received in the last few weeks. We are extremely grateful and have great things on the way for you guys. But without further ado, I will let my guest introduce himself. He is no newcomer, though. Yeah.
Yo, what's good, bro? Thank you for having me.
No, bro,
it feels like home.
Yeah, it's always a blessing to have you on this podcast,
For real. Just to kick it is a blessing,
Yeah.
indeed.
And
Always.
every time you're on the podcast, I know you're going to drop gems.
We try.
Yes.
Life has its way of to find and acquire a gem. It takes some beating up, and searching. So I think that's where I'm at in this season of life. Before you can be someone who is a well,
Yeah.
you have to dig deep.
The process of refining and everything. It's not the best process.
It's not a glorious process at all, But chat to me, bro. It feels good to be here.
Yeah.
Congrats on the episodes that are doing well.
Thanks,
Just to kick it is truly on the rise.
It's on the
But
rise.
let's talk about that. 5 years in it. You said it's been planting seeds.
Yeah, bro. Wow. Hey, it's been a tough 5-year journey. A journey that had direction, then had no direction, then now finally has direction.
Yeah.
I can't say it's me, honestly. I'm so grateful for the team. Starting with Shiko, who got me back into doing the podcast.
Shout out.
And then guiding me to a path that I didn't even want to take. But
What's
I can
that?
see. She said she thinks I have a gift to change the next generation of men. And at that time, I was so against it. I'm like, yo, Shiko, are you mad? Look, I only even get 300 views, and 10% of those views come from men. And if you want me to speak only to the men, I'll be at 30 views. I was already so discouraged to go to the studio, And at that time, I'm paying like 35, 40 a month to do a podcast. That's not generating anything,
Yeah.
Then she wants me to do it for 30 people.
No, I feel you. My audience is also majority women.
No, it's because women enjoy this thing.
Yeah,
and I know that even if my calling, or right now in my life, I feel like I'm called to speak to men, women will always listen more. You get?
Facts.
But it's because I realized the other day they'll probably listen more because they want to understand these people more better than these people want to understand themselves.
That's deep. That's very deep.
Yeah. But yeah, your year started a bit crazy, man. Tell us what happened and how that made you feel, man.
Man, 2025. I started this year saying it's the year of the quantum leap
Yes.
to my audience.
Yeah.
And it truly has been, We started off 4 months in the year. January to April was very intense. Go mode, like speaking after speaking, engagement after engagement, meetings, events. And, I did my last event April 5th, the Awareness Shift 2.0. Whoever's watched that knows how it was. It was a very good success.
It was really amazing. I was there.
Yeah, you were there. Yeah. So I what people don't know, I had like a depressive episode after that event.
Wow.
I went through like what is the whole point of everything type thing. I was just like, this is not seeming. I sort of lost my North Star. Got in my head a bit, I tried therapy for one day. I looked at this guy, I said, this guy's not going to solve my problems. Then I left. So I said, this therapy thing is not for everyone.
Yeah.
So for me, I really was searching for something that I think once you've gone on such a high, you sort of get numb to certain things.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I was sort of numb to myself, my purpose, my my inner world. And for me, if my inner world is I'm not in tune with it, I'm not in sync.
Yeah.
I lose my head. I can't function. And so then I was trying to figure out where's the next direction of my life, where am I going, and then had a lot of tough conversations, not just with myself but with my good friends God sent to me, and what happened is, so the day I fractured my shoulder,
Yeah.
I had just had a conversation where I was like, I'm about to do X, Y, and Z. I just basically set my plan in order.
Yeah.
And that night I got fractured. I fell on my shoulder, fractured my shoulder, told I can't play football for a year. Or can't do any physical activities that are too intense for a year.
Wow.
So, bro, I mean, my world just came crumbling down, you know. I was training for the September marathon that's coming up.
Yeah.
The stand shot.
Yeah.
I was training for Hyroxes. I was training just to really push myself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And what that really taught me, once I was like, yo, all these plans just crumbled right before my eyes. I said,
Yeah.
okay, so, but my biggest sign of growth was I didn't accuse myself. I didn't ask the questions of, Muli, why is this happening to me? Why would God allow this? I was like, what is God trying to teach me in this season? You know what I mean? So that question I kept asking myself showed me, in hindsight, no, I've actually come from far.
Yeah.
Because I'm not being my own enemy of progress.
Yes.
You know, with the Motaji campaign collection we launched the first time, the message was, you can be your own biggest asset to yourself or your own biggest enemy of progress. And I, you know, sometimes you embody your philosophy in both the positive and the negative ways.
Yes.
So I was embodying it in a negative way like crazy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, 3 months, it's now been 3 months in surgery. It was very tough, but thankfully it went well. You know, I can move my shoulder. I'm not on a sling anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like I was just telling, I don't know who I was telling, I was just saying, when you're in physical pain, like actual physical pain, it teaches you to move slower, think slower. Everything must be slow and calculated.
Yeah.
So God was trying to teach me that this explosiveness I have, I have an idea, how can I execute this immediately?
Yeah.
And I was actually having a conversation with Chat GPT.
Yeah, even we have too many conversations with
it's
that
my
guy.
therapist,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it said,
Yeah.
Muli, you don't give yourself enough time to sit in your own brilliance. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
ain't that the truth?
Let me tell you something, bro. Chat is so scary.
Yeah.
You know, we don't realize how scary that thing is. Yeah.
No.
Like,
Facts.
sometimes I think it even knows me better than I know myself. Because, you know, it has a memory and it has that thing and it's just always bringing back or picking it up, you know.
I think we have so much that can go right and wrong at the same time. Because for me, the way I've introduced myself to ChatGPT, it knows all my dreams. It knows how I think, how I talk.
Yeah.
So there's ways I've personified it. Like I was even just sharing it with someone close to me, and I was just like giving them the feedback I get from ChatGPT. It's like, ChatGPT knows you so much better than I do. You know what I mean? Because it's the details. Because if you're detailed with it, it'll give you details. Right?
Yeah, no.
But yeah, that's the scary hours.
It's how good the prompts are, you know, and the better the ingredients you feed into something, the better the end meal is. And
I'm just grateful I'm not an author post ChatGPT era. I'm an author pre ChatGPT because now I don't can write a book. Just say, Chat, write me a book about my life.
That's true.
You know, but I had to sit down, think, strategize. No one was using ChatGPT like that.
No, but it's true.
So it's a flex.
But maybe we should actually try and see, because I've read your book as well.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try and put the book in chat and say, now that you also know all this about me, how do you refine this book to be a top seller? And then we'd read that. I think that would be crazy.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'll do that for sure.
Yeah. And then you could send a couple of copies to just people who enjoy the book, or feedback, or loyal people, or your community.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd be like, then they'd see the difference. You know, I've known you always for that fast guy, explosive guy, not even. Now that this pain or struggle you endured, how did that slow down your life, and now how has it shaped your life moving forward?
Yeah, I think definitely there's more thought that goes behind what I do. I'm a lot more intentional, and I'm a lot more calculated. So, like Chat said, I sometimes now actually see and notice that when I do get idea, the rush of excitement comes, and also it's given me wisdom to not just speak about everything. Because the thing is, when you get these brilliant ideas, it's so quick. It's so easy for us to go and tell someone this is what I have planned, and then the rush of external validation hits you, and then you don't really have the fuel to get it done with. So now what I'm doing is I'm done talking and I'm just executing, but I'm not doing it out of a place of rushing.
Yeah.
Like even with the podcast Side and Spirit, the ideas we have, but I'm not rushing it. Me, I'm thinking now, how can I maintain what I'm doing for the next 50 years of my life? Because the thing is, I learned I have so many good things I've built right now in the last 2 years of my life. There's a lot of things I've built that have a lot of potential to scale to being huge.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what's the next thing that I can create that can just add into that? Because, I'm thinking of an empire.
Yeah.
And when you think of an empire, you don't realize that the few foundational things that must be set. And so what I'm doing now is I'm in the foundation of making sure that everything I'm working on has systems in check that with or without me, they can thrive. But I'm not saying that I won't be in the picture.
Yeah.
I'm just using a lot more wisdom to now bring in a team of people to help me where I'm not good at. Like I'm very cognizant of my strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And I understand how to utilize that. And also the thing about being someone who has so many ideas is you get, if you're not careful, you can get caught up in
Your ideas.
you can get it's very quick to just be in delulu land. Like you're literally delusional. Someone has to bring you down to earth. So I have people around me, thank God, who can like be like, okay, Muli, you have this idea, this is good, but how are you gonna execute this? How can we start from step 1 before you on step 1,000?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what the visionary is. You sort of drink your own poison.
Yeah. No, but being the Lulu is perfect.
Yeah.
There's
I
so
hear that.
many guys who have been the Lulu and they've made it.
Yeah.
You get? And for me, even me now, that's how I'm trying to dream. So I've brought in people and things that will help set structure and then be the Lulu about everything.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm liking, because especially when you find women know or understand how to put in certain structures and whatever. Because even me, I'm like you. I'm a creator. I'm a visionary. Systems, structures, procedures
Hard.
are my weakness. And it's good to know.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to create, to sit, to tell you, look, this is how I'd like, even with this podcast, and I'm so grateful for the team at VoiceBox. Yeah. May come in and tell Juma, look, Meshach, look, Tiff, look. I know I want to do this. I don't know how to do it, but you look, present to me, and I'll know when we have something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you have that,
Yes, I'll feel it.
Yeah.
It's
a feeling.
It's a feeling.
Yeah.
But I know what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to achieve, what I'm trying to have. But now those systems, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah. But also now that you've been through this whole experience and everything, what's something now you're being more and more intentional about?
Definitely, my relationship with God doesn't need to always be public.
Oh.
Because I was doing a lot of conversations about God specifically on my TikTok and stuff like that. And what would begin to happen is I would see how people would idolize me. And I'd recognize that people start coming to me for solutions and not God. And so what God is teaching me is that don't use my name for your brand. You know what I mean? It's for me, God is hard with me because I know how I converse and hear God is very different from others because it's a very corrective, checking tone. So with the communities I had, recently ended the community, had like 200 plus people, private community as well, because I really needed to refine myself and understand what am I really telling people. Because, being a thought leader comes with a lot of time being in your thoughts.
Yeah.
And if you get caught up in the consumption, you lose your originality. Because now none of your thoughts are your own. You're just a parrot. You're voicing what you hear. So I really needed to take time and be intentional with my relationship with God and figure out what is my message because I'm not a religious person. And that's the problem. A lot of people think now when you do talk about God, you being put in a religious box. And for me, religious people are the ones who killed Jesus. I do not want to associate myself with them. And it's a very harsh thing because they're the most judgmental, they're the most hypocritical. They'll tell you, oh, don't do X, Y, and Z, and behind the scenes they're doing A, B, C, and D. So it's a matter of like selective religious or self-righteousness. So God really stripped me of my self-righteousness.
Yeah.
Because I had that and I didn't realize it. And it took me having to fall on my ass for me to realize, yeah, this is self-righteousness. You think because you talk about this X and Y and Z, it can't touch you, or you're not affected by it, or you're perfect in a way that you've graduated certain levels.
Yeah.
But it's very good to always realize the Bible says, any man thinks he stand, let him take heed lest he fall. So that is literally a warning to anyone here who thinks you've arrived somewhere, or you think you're this guy who's dealt with this X, Y, and Z, and now you can't be touched by it anymore. You're invincible.
Yeah.
And those are the things that God is really cementing in me. It's a lot of wisdom in terms of navigating my voice, because a lot of the times you want, for me, I have such a high pursuit of excellence, but that can get, for me, that can create paralysis analysis. So I'm just in my head all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, now what do I do? Because I've seen all the possible angles of what I can do, who's done it, how can I do it better, how can I stand out in this area. So yeah, that's where my head has been, you know. So it's definitely a lot of refining.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you being intentional about right now?
Oof. I think the one thing that I've really been intentional of late, actually two things. I'll share with you two things.
Yeah.
Number one is being sober-minded and more present.
I feel that.
Yeah. I think I've said this before, but I'll just say in case no one has heard. Since I was 16, this is probably the most sober year I've had. Yeah. So can you imagine over 10 years?
Yeah.
This is the most
How does that feel?
sober year. I've loved it because it means I've been more present in more situations. I've been able to identify more opportunities. I've been able to make more sober-minded decisions and less emotional decisions, you know. I think one of the things that I've looked at myself is as a weakness, but I'm now finding someone who's teaching me how to use it as a strength is my emotions.
Yeah.
I think I'm a very emotional person.
Yeah.
And for so long, I've looked at it as my weakness. But the other day, I had a conversation with one of my wonderful friends. She's called Casey, and she told me, no, Tupac, that's your strength. And the day you realize how strong that strength of yours is the day your life will really, really start to change. So that's one thing that I'm trying to realize. But even that sober-minded thing, I can see the decisions in business. I can see the opportunities in business. And I think because, you know, you're also a bit sober-minded, and, you know, I really also, you know, fasted and everything this year. And, you know, it's probably the year I've also read the most pages of the Bible and everything. I think I've had an opportunity where I've felt like, you know, God has revealed things to me. Yeah. So that's one thing. The other thing is mentorship. I've been very intentional this year about meeting my mentors. And one of them is a spiritual financial mentor, because I feel like I struggle in those two areas a lot. And he's amazing. Like, he has a gift of seeing into people. Sometimes the guy is talking to me and I'm like, is this guy inside my mind? You know? But yeah, it's been eye-opening, you know, and he's teaching me how to unpack my gifts, you know, learn my gifts, learn love, learn just why you're here, why you're created. You know, I think for me, I've always felt like I have a not so good, but a decent understanding of the physical world, but I have a poor understanding of the spiritual world. So it's that I've chosen to be intentional about this year. And I've seen magic happen.
I agree.
I can sit here and I say, I have seen magic happen. Yeah.
I think just hearing you say that reminds me of, for real, being in the present moment. Like I said something, You can't teach presence, you become it. And it's a paradoxical statement. I
Yeah.
was just meditating, I was like, because first of all, to carry presence, or what our generation calls as aura, you have to embody your philosophy. So when you embody your philosophy and you live it, that's when people will feel your presence. But we're in the age where there's so many people who are faking their aura, faking discipline, faking being locked in, faking having this persona of being figured out, or you know who you are, you know what you're doing, you're successful. There's that persona of success, but it's not really success. And that's what I didn't want to fall prone victim to. So being intentional, like you said, also with being reaching out and investing in friendships and mentors. But the thing is, me, I was in a position where I was a mentor to many people, and I've had to sort of distance myself from people because you a lot of people know that if your cup is diluted or it's full but it's contaminated, you will be pouring that into other people.
Oh, yeah,
So making sure your vessel is in sync with what God has for you or what God wants you to do is very powerful. And I think that being present, it changes everything. Because in the present, you can find the solutions. But we're in an age where when your phone is on 15%, you have anxiety because you're like, hey, what am I going to do when my phone dies?
Yeah.
You know, we're so attached, and this is the same thing. I have to sort of being in the space of where you're social media, you're content creator, you have the gift of marketing, branding, all these things. You have to live on your phone.
Yeah.
But it's like, how can you create the balance between setting time for yourself to really renew your mind, but then also not being consumed by the overconsumption, because that can in itself destroy you. Because now you see so many people cooking, brands are being elevated, events, these things happening. It seems like everyone is on their own bag.
Yeah, that's
But that's what social media is. Everyone just shows you the good things. So I think that question of what you're being intentional about is something even I want to hear what guys in the comments have to say, because it's a very powerful thing
Yeah.
that you asked.
I think for me also the good thing is exactly what you said is trying to be intentional without also being honest.
With also
with
being on-
with being also honest.
Okay.
You get, and even if I'm sure you've watched my snippets and you watch my podcast, I'm so honest about things. Yes, because I don't want to come and sit here on this chair and look or have someone look at me in a certain way, and I'm also so like falling short of the things that I should achieve.
Yeah.
I'm also stumbling and making mistakes, Even I'm sure if you had the podcast I had with my dad, look, you know how honest that thing was. Even my dad was like, some of the things you told me there, I can't believe you told me. I told him, Dad, that's why I brought you, out of everyone, because I knew you and I could have a very honest conversation about that could inspire people. And look, in that honesty, that thing went viral, But
That's all we're craving.
yeah. But I'm telling people, and I think this is my advice to these guys listening, and especially men, I think invest in other men that are willing to see or uplift you. And there are many of them. Yeah. I'm telling you, every breakfast, I look so forward to the breakfast sessions with my spiritual mentor, man. Like, it's like he breathes a breath of fresh air into my life, Like he unravels things I didn't even know I'm going through. He's like, maybe you could think about this in our next session. Could you think about this or have this conversation with your parents and then come and tell me this? And I'm like, wow. And it's like he keeps unlocking a puzzle in my life for me. And I keep on thinking, why didn't I listen to Shiko guys and, go to him earlier, But he asked me a very interesting question yesterday, actually. No, the day before yesterday. And I'd like to pose it to the audience because I also still don't know an answer, but I'd like to see what people think about this. And then, I'd also like to hear your response. But maybe you could do your response in a week or something. You can do it off a reel. So we can cut this part, the question, and then you could do your response in a reel, now answering it. Does that make sense? Yeah, because I'd like to hear what the audience think,
Yeah.
He asked me, I don't even want to get it wrong. Let me just look for it on my notes. So he asked me this. He asked me, yes, perfect. I found the note. He asked me, Tupac, I want you to go there and think, why did God decide human babies are the only people that aren't dependent when they are born. Why human babies are the only people that aren't dependent when they are born. When a fish is born, it can swim. When a bird is born, it can fly. A few hours later, after a cow is born, it can walk. But a human baby, even till our age, we're kind of being dependent on our parents. So why is it that humans were created to be that dependent? What was God trying to teach us?
That was a very deep question.
Yeah. And you know what he gave me as like maybe a clue, and then told me, if you look out there, nature teaches us everything if we can just be still and understand. And he gave me an example of an ostrich. You know what an ostrich does when it's in trouble?
You know what?
It buries its head in the sand.
So it doesn't see.
Do you know how dumb that is metaphor? No, like in reality.
Yeah.
Imagine a lion is running to it. Boop. It's made its problems worse.
Yeah.
But do you know it's the same thing humans do? As soon as we get into problems, what do? We bury our head into the sand. Instead of looking at the problem and trying to face it. You know, sometimes I think if the ostrich turns around and looks at the lion like this, the lion can cheesy.
Yeah.
Say, hey, maybe this guy is a beef guy.
Yeah, there's a video I saw on TikTok of this guy, drunk guy who entered a lion's den.
Yeah.
And the lion saw him. He was sitting down on like a tree.
Yeah.
The lion saw him. He stood up. He said, you couldn't hear the audio, but it looked like he was telling the lion to go away. And the lion didn't attack him because the guy was drunk out of his mind, but his confidence confused the lion. So it's crazy how we...
But also, have you seen it with dogs? Like I see it all the time with my dog at home, yeah? He'll run to someone like this, but as soon as that person stops and turns at him and does like this, it's like there's a freeze. Even he tries sometimes to break and he skids on the floor like this. It kind of looks cool though.
But that what I'm hearing is problems tend to not be that big when you face them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very, very big gem.
Because I think a lot of us men are suffering because we're not facing problems. Girls are good at facing their problems.
Yeah.
Girls love addressing their problems. But us men, it's you'll put your head in the sand, so you'll trap, you'll do that, you'll do that, you'll do that, you'll do that, you'll do that. The problem becomes worse.
You know, the thing that the lady on a podcast said, don't love your job your love.
Yeah. That was the...
No. If you deep it,
Okay,
it's a actual paradoxical statement.
Yeah.
Because what she's saying, in essence, is, for me, like, with what you're doing,
Yeah.
you love what you do.
Yes.
So you're not loving your job. You've jobbed your love. So in other words, your love has become your work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's a thing. It's like if you have comprehension, I understood what she said immediately.
Yeah.
But of course,
it's the rest of us who didn't understand.
People heard that and like, what the hell is this lady saying? And it became a whole meme.
Yeah.
But that's the essence of when you love what you do as work, it now becomes play.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So this doesn't even feel like work, but it is to a certain extent.
That's true.
And so with that statement, I've really understood this one thing about the topic. What was the question again? Nature of dependency.
Yes.
I think I'm not going to answer it now because I still need to sit in it.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful when you realize that it's true that nature does show you how things work. Nature operates on flow and alignment. Yeah. Humans operate on scarcity, rush, anxiety, all these things.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to even what I'm being intentional with right now, it's enjoying life. Like life is to be lived. Love is to be experienced.
Yeah.
And so it's being intentional with like expressing love, showing your light to people in the smallest of things. Like gratitude is another thing that I keep saying, and you're big on as well. It's a muscle. The more you intentionally sit and be grateful, like it's a blessing. This whole podcast is built on gratitude.
Yes.
And you know that when you become someone who operates in gratitude, your frequency, it just opens up the doors for blessings to flood you. Because you can see that no negativity can come to you when you start being grateful. Because things are so minute. I actually may be suffering right now physically, but I'm in a bed. I have food, shelter,
Clothes.
clothes. Everything is sort of, I'm surviving.
Yeah.
I'm alive. But you see, we get, as men, we get caught up in what it's like to be a high value man, not realizing it's not a microwave thing. And so being able to go through the process of becoming that man where you may not be where you want to be financially, but mentally you've invested a lot into your mind.
Yeah.
That in itself, like I said on a TikTok, the biggest flex is to have someone say, I'm attracted to your mind.
I remember I
And
had
I
that.
like how you think.
Yeah.
That's a flex to
No,
me.
it is.
Because when someone is saying that, the mind in itself is intangible, but it carries your energy, your essence, your thoughts, your ability to express yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I think it's very powerful when someone becomes intentional with investing in the things that are not tangible per se.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, I think you also brought in, you've really talked about, relationships, friendships, and everything in just this brief conversation that we've had. And who are you finding yourself drawn to lately?
I won't lie. God has really refined my friendships, and I'm finding myself driven to, not drawn to driven individuals.
Yeah.
People who have this energy of they know their North Star. They may not have it figured out,
Yeah.
but they know where we're going.
Yeah.
That's even where Tribe of Dreamers, Motaji is. It's a community of people who are going somewhere. We may not know where we're going, but we're going towards a North Star. And so I think I'm past the point of allowing people who are not of the same energy into my energy. Because the energy vampires out here like crazy. Have you ever sat with someone
Yeah.
and you feel drained
Yeah.
after talking to them?
Yeah.
That's an energy vampire. And that used to be many of my friends. But I never could notice because I would camouflage as it's my boy. Been together for long, built experiences, memories. But at the end of the day, this is someone who's stealing from me. But like now, whenever I do go and say, yo, let's go for a catch up with my guys, I leave there refined. Energies. I don't feel like I've been talking for hours.
Yeah.
Because there are some people you can't sit and talk like this.
No, you
It's
can't.
impossible. Because you're not on the same energy frequency.
The level.
There are people who actually can't talk for an hour without complaining or murmuring or saying something negative.
Yeah.
Or complaining about politics, this, X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? But to be able to come here and talk about real things of substance,
Yeah.
it literally creates energy into you. Like I don't feel tired after these type of conversations.
Exactly.
What about you?
For me, I think who am I drawn to lately?
Yeah.
So I've found myself drawn to, I think, a lot of people that are willing to walk a path with me. You get? Because as a creator, as a visionary, you're given a path or you're given something to follow by God. And then you can't do anything alone. So I felt myself drawn to people who God is showing me, yes, this person will help you with this part of your creation. This person will help you with this part. This person will guide you there. This person will guide you there. So I've felt myself drawn to those kind of people, and that's what I keep on saying, like, from Tiff, who I first met for the studio, to Shiko,
Shout out.
to Juma, to now even Shiko's helped me build another bigger team of Roxanne, Sheena, Matu, Sean, David. All those people, I feel drawn to them because I feel like they understand what I'm trying to do. And they've come and said, look, Tupac, we're willing to help you, And a lot of the things that this podcast has accomplished this year would not happen if it wasn't for any of those people. But those are people who have said, look, Tupac, we can help you refine your vision. We can help you do this. We can help you do that. We can help you do that. So like I said, it's not like I'm even looking for them. It's like God just keeps on placing them in my life. And then one introduces me to this one and I'm like, okay, wow, let's see. So it's like what you're saying is your spirit knows. Yeah. And that's also what my mentor was telling me also yesterday. He was like, in the physical world, things happen based on value. Things are transactional. Yes. And value is what helps things make sense. If you go with 1,000 to Art Cafe, you know exactly what you can go with 1,000. There's no faith that you might get the wine that's or something that's more expensive, you know? But in the spiritual world, things happen that you do not understand, you know? So a lot of that has been happening of late. You know, there's a guy I played with ball like 2-3 years ago. And yesterday we had one of the most amazing meetings. And he told me, Tupac, there's some things I think that I can be able to do for you to get some of your things to the next level. A random, like oldish guy. You know, those ball, I used to go sometimes to Thursday Valley Arcade. I just feel bored at home and I'm like, I need some exercise. I'd find a group of guys. I asked a random group. We just connected, changed numbers. And now, if you ask me on that Thursday why we exchanged numbers, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I guess, you know, that's God working, you know? So I feel drawn to those people. But you've also talked about energy suckers, energy what? How do you identify these people and how have you filtered them in your life? Because I think for me, a place that I found, or I still find because I still go there once in a while, that's really energy sucking for me is the club. Yeah. Especially, you know, I've had to go for a few birthdays, like being sober and wow,
You see things differently.
you see things differently, you know?
The art of filtering, I talked about this before. It comes from the Bible verse that says,
Yeah.
above all else, guard your heart, for out of it flow all the issues of life.
Yeah.
So I think when you recognize energy vampires, they like to be involved in your things, but they don't really contribute. So you find someone will come and they want to ask you so many questions. What are you up to? What are
Yeah.
you doing? It's like they're monitoring spirits.
Yeah.
And then what will happen is you feel like you've emptied yourself into them, and they'll plant one, like a vampire, they'll bite you. They'll plant one seed of doubt, or they'll plant one seed of uncertainty, or they'll give you anxiety. They won't affirm you. You know, there's wisdom that comes with a warning, and it's beneficial. But then there's people who just want to knock you off your frequency.
Yeah.
That's why I've learned it's not all about talking about your big plans to everyone.
No, you can't.
You can't do that.
You can't.
Because people are literally pursuing ideas and they'll do anything at the cost. Even the industry, I mean,
Yeah.
the retail sportswear, this industry
Yeah.
is very dog eat world. Like people are looking for ideas. People are looking for models. Oh, this model has come to your shoot. How can we get them from you?
Yeah.
Sign them.
Yeah.
Because some of these guys have more capital, more money, more bigger following and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of when you come in a creative industry, you have to very much be guarded because what I've learned about creativity doesn't come to busy places.
Yeah.
Creativity is a flow. It comes from the spirit into the carnal.
Yeah.
It has to flow. So when you allow yourself to get so many different opinions from all different people, like for example, you know this, when you have something, a project, and it's birthed from within you, and you start telling it to everyone, someone will tell you so many all these ideas that will come and it will clog your spirit. So for me, I've learned to filter out these people because I know that once I've seen something, it's not that doesn't matter what someone tells me. What someone else will tell me is to add on to it.
Yeah.
That may help it. But to shift my whole sight, that's where sight and spirits come from, because you have to have the ability to see the unseen and implement the unseen into the scene. So it's very crucial for whoever is listening to recognize that energy vampires, they are like monitoring spirits, and they will plant seeds of doubt, anxiety, and uncertainty and fear into your life. You know.
So the interesting thing is, what's a conversation you think you've had in recently that has changed the way you think or move or feel?
Man, I've changed a lot in the last few months.
No, I know you
I've
have.
had a
We've
lot of-
we've had enough conversations, you know.
Yeah. I've had a lot of conversations that have changed the way I see things drastically from my own religious perspectives. I wouldn't say religious perspectives, but that's the only way I can put it, because people are sort of like, what do you mean by spiritual? But just distinctifying the difference between someone who's a follower of Jesus versus a Christian. Different. Like, you recognize that Christianity, when you do deep dive research into the history of it,
Yeah.
you find some things that are very dark. You find some things that are not necessarily what Jesus came to teach and to preach. And so I am very much cognizant of the understanding that there's so many things that I thought I knew. I'm not even going to go into different rabbit holes.
Yeah.
The rapture, the people who the rapture Christians, the people who Tartarian believers, that there was already the millennial reign on the earth. There's so many different things that I can say.
Yeah.
But I don't want to confuse anyone listening. Because for me, my greatest desire is to hear so many different perspectives that question my belief to make me really understand why I believe what I believe in. Because you see, your belief is your belief until you realize, oh, your mom is the one who told you this. So you're believing it because of your mom's opinion. So it's not necessarily yours. But what is your belief that actually belongs to you?
Yeah.
And it's not influenced by anyone else. But I'm not trying to say that now you can't be influenced into believing something and then believe it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing new under the sun. But I'm trying to help understand that for me, the conversations that have changed how I see things have challenged me to realize I know a lot, but it's not all about head knowledge. It's about transformation. So it's, for me, the highest frequencies, love, gratitude. That's what I really just want to walk in. Anything else, no matter how deep the rabbit hole is, no matter where it takes me, and I understand, because we're living in a day and age, brother. I'll be honest. You can die by anything.
Yeah.
Your phone, radioactive.
Yeah.
Microwave, frequencies that can destroy you. Everything in this day and age can kill you.
Yeah.
You know you can die by anything.
Yes.
Your clothes. There's certain things that you realize that if you just allow yourself to completely go down all these rabbit holes, you get so overwhelmed. So I'd gone down those rabbit holes and I came out of it after processing all the things that I've consumed. I realized, God, I love you. Please protect me. I submit under your mercy and under your grace. Because then you understand it's God who keeps us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's true.
And all these things that the world can teach you about what's good, what's evil, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. At the end of the day, the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom.
Yeah. Normally, my dad, he really hates it when I do this because sometimes he'll be like, you're doing too risky, or you're doing something too risky, or whatever, oh my God, because my dad is a very, like, even he said on the podcast, on the conversation we had, that he's a very risk cautious person, you know. And sometimes I don't see, sometimes I see risk as well. I'm very risk cautious, but sometimes I don't see it in other aspects of, And I always tell him, Dad, listen, if it's your day, it's your day.
Yeah.
Whether you stay at home, whether you go out there, if it's your day, it's your day.
Yeah.
And he hates it when I say that, But for me, when I look at maybe like some conversations that have probably changed my life, or have changed how I think, it's definitely, my conversation with my mentor, and soon I hope we can have a podcast together. I think as that relationship continues to develop. But yeah, this year was a bit crazy for me, I woke up emotional on my birthday, first of all. I woke up, I won't lie to you, I cried. And some of it was tears of joy, some of it was tears of disappointment, some of it was, there's just a lot.
You want to unpack that?
Yeah. So I woke up, of course, you look at your life and you say, have I done the best with what I was given? Knowing the capabilities you have, knowing the kind of person you are, knowing all those goals you set by 25, get married.
Yeah.
By before 30, have 2 kids, and then you're like, damn, bro, you're getting closer to 30. You don't even have 1 kid. You don't even have a prospect.
Where's your? I was about to ask where your prospects
Yeah,
are right
you
now.
don't even have a prospect.
How's that search going for?
Yeah, we'll get to that. You're still living with your parents. There was a lot on the sad side, but you also look how far you've come. For someone, actually, it's September. Suicide Prevention Month, but you look at how far you've come, and, you also thank God, for someone who tried killing himself twice to, sit down and have a podcast here that has grown, to have people who are believing in a vision. It was crazy. And then I had no plan, but I woke up and I asked like 5 or 6 of my closest friends, yo guys, I'd like to go to Naivasha, who's down? They're like, bro, us will do anything for you. So there was that love, and usually I'm the guy for like big birthdays, so I can have guys then, feel that kind of love.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, yeah. But I swear with you, with like this 7, 8 people is probably so much love I felt, and that changed also my perspective. I was saying sometimes it doesn't have to be the most major things or the biggest things or have the most people there.
Yeah.
It has to be the true, real people, And in that birthday, I think we made real speeches for like an hour, and it was just few guys, But I asked everyone to say something, and of course I said something about everyone. So yeah, it really changed about how I look at relationships. Of course, I also had the conversation with my spiritual mentor, and I'm like, I feel like I'm getting old. I feel like I might pass the age where I can find a partner. And I've always been a big partner guy, But it's like, no. For me, Tupac, how I see you is I think your refinement processing is happening. And when you get to where you need to get, so many things will fall in place that you don't believe. And that's a conversation actually that now changed my perspective. But it's just those conversations that I had during my birthday, the speeches that were made, that reflection, and then now this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very deep. I think from hearing you speak, my thoughts went into the simplicity of life that has so much joy and beauty, I think when
You said it perfectly.
yeah, we're in a generation that, like, if you look at the algorithms and the content that's out there, it's 0.2-second clips with flashing images, sounds, and all these things to be able to catch your dopamine. But for me, like, a lot of people ask me, Muli, how did you develop your mindset? I listen to long form content more than short. I listen to 2-hour, 3-hour podcasts every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that in itself, over a period of time, like for me, before I came out on social media, I'd done like 3-4 years of just listening to podcasts and consuming content and information that I've never heard of before, because there's no one really teaching it around your local, community. But thank God for the internet, because there is pros, definitely.
There is this pros.
This is a pro as well.
Yeah.
Because access to information like this, hearing people's minds that are around your age, also older than you, and that can show you. Because for me, some of my mentors I don't even physically haven't met them. They're not here.
Exactly.
And it's like the connection between our understandings of life, the ability to really dissect their mindset is a privilege. So for me, I thank God for the access I have to certain minds. Because for me, I can't begin to tell you how I love understanding the way great people think
or move.
and understand the behind the scenes processes. So for me, like, my ideas come to me 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. when I'm tired.
Yeah.
But then my mind is awake. You know what I mean? And your mind starts to give you an energy. There's an energy field that's spiritual, that you can sleep 2 hours, but you have energy that you can go for 48 hours with.
No, it's true.
You understand? That's what you tap into when you're really operating in spiritual alignment. Like for me, when I was writing my book and when I've done certain projects and events, when I know I've birthed it from my spirit, because when you pull something out of your spirit, you don't even feel tired. You don't feel hungry.
No.
There's a different energy fuel that you're operating. And for whoever is listening to you, the difference when you're walking in your spirit and your carnal mind is when you feel tired, you feel groggy, you feel like you've lost desire to do these things. It's because you're not operating in alignment with your spirit. Because your spirit does not need sleep.
Yeah.
It's our body. So the more you're in the body, the more you feel the body's effects. And so it's like transitioning into creating intentional time to really be in sync with your spirit, like meditating, praying, and pursuing things that can cost you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the cost of your personal elevation and transformation. I think it's just a very, very, you can never go wrong with those things.
And I really like what you said. You said the thing about the simplicity in life. I think a lot of pressure that's negative comes from that not wanting a simple life. Is that comparison. Yes. Lack of that simple life is that comparison. In fact, I had a meeting the other day with one of my friends.
Yeah.
And we were just laughing, and he was telling me, it's crazy how much we've grown. Before we thought we needed all these billions and everything to be happy. But that amount keeps on, reducing. Of course, there's a good amount.
Yeah.
But it's not until like these guys who are taking these things and then putting it in Swiss account, and then, the money disappears. It makes another country rich while you're impoverishing your country, Yeah, but, it's crazy, but just about the simplicity of life. And then also I think my mentor is allowing me to show myself time, because I think time went so quick, my trapping ages. Then now I think I felt like, damn, I've lost a lot of time that when I was trapping.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, now I need to do a lot of other things. But he's telling me, have grace.
Yeah, process.
He was telling me, even if you feel like you're coming closer to 30, Jesus accomplished a lot of things after 30, So don't rush, Even this, well, like you said, partner that you're looking for.
Me, I'm good.
No, I'm saying like for me,
for you,
when you ask me, don't rush. If it's someone you're gonna spend the rest of your life with, what's the rush? But yeah, it hasn't been too successful. Yeah,
We'll pray for you.
went through another car mini heartbreak
Oh no.
this year, but
Oh man.
it is the heartbreak shows you that's not the one. Ama?
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, it's a
For
lesson.
me, before I came across the one,
Yeah.
I think I went through so many different people who were just,
Yeah.
But anyway,
And I think it's also God telling you, stop rushing it. It's my time. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah,
And then,
because with that one, it's someone I had a crush for a while, went on a couple of dates, but I feel like I actually rushed it.
yeah,
And then, bow, the true colors came. And I think it's God's way of saying, chill, brother.
yeah. I think the thing I've learned, even if you study metaphysics, being at a very calm frequency
Yeah.
is one of the greatest ways to always attract what's for you. Being at a very calm frequency. Because a lot of the times when you're calm, you're not anxious, you're not in fear, you're not in desperation. Because those frequencies will attract things for sure, but not what you want. So when you be calm, and even it's a Bible verse says, God sees a meek and a quiet spirit as of great price and of great value. So someone who can be calm in their spirit and in their nature, calm is not necessarily just being quiet.
Yeah.
Calm is an internal feeling where that you may be going through hell right now, but you're calm.
Yeah, that's
you're good.
true.
You understand that this is the value of the shadow of death, but you're not fearing evil.
Yeah.
Because God's with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's things that you realize that the more you just recognize your timing is all about alignment. I think I remember hearing someone say this on a podcast. He said, think about your dog. Your dog, you are your God. That you are the dog's God.
Yes.
Whenever it wants to eat, it can't serve itself.
Yes.
It has to wait for you. So it goes to its
Like a
place
bowl.
of food, bowl
Yeah.
of food,
Yeah.
and it sits and it waits.
Yeah.
You, at your time, will give it food.
Yeah.
But all it can do is wait and allow itself to be in alignment to receive.
Yeah.
That's all it's about.
Yeah.
If you have a God, our God will give you what you need in the right time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to operate out of struggle all the
Yeah.
time. But a lot of people think that if I'm not struggling, then, I don't deserve things. If I've not worked so hard for this, I don't deserve it. But it's all about a mindset shift of like, good things don't always need to come through extreme amount of effort and hard work and sweat and tears. That's actually operating out of a curse that Adam had. But Jesus, who is the second Adam, came to break off that curse. That's why he wore the crown of thorns.
Yeah.
It's a deeper revelation when you understand that now we're not operating out of struggle and where you have to sweat to work.
Yeah.
You operate out of grace and understanding alignment. And from that, you receive the things that you truly want.
Yeah.
If they're in alignment to God's will,
I think also, now that we're actually also talking about time and milestones and things like that, is again, back to my mentor, he told me, God reveals to you things when it's the perfect time. And he gave me an example. He told me the other day he was driving with his family to Nyanyuki, and his son kept on asking, Dad, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And he can't even explain to the son where exactly they are, because even if he did his best, the son would not understand. It's a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, I think, yeah. He wouldn't understand. At 13, maybe you'll understand a little bit more better than when you're 6. But then at 18, you might even be the one driving him there. You get? So that's how the world slowly reveals to you. And that's the same thing with God. Sometimes it's like you may be asking the wrong questions, or you're getting answers, but because you don't have the wisdom and knowledge to understand them, you won't understand them.
That's deep.
So take what you can understand now and just embrace the journey, learn the journey. You know?
I'm in the same place because, before I was operating out of, I need to do this to receive X, Y, and Z. Like pursuing certain, like I was posting like 5 times on TikTok every day.
Yeah.
It's like, what brother? Yeah. I was pulling all the wisdom I've consumed in the last 5 years on a 30-second video.
Yeah.
Trying to build a brand.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not really in a rush. When you carry wisdom authentically, people will know. And that's the thing about even looking at Solomon, the wisest man that ever existed. Mm-hmm. This guy attracted everyone from all walks of life because of his wisdom. Wisdom is in itself a frequency that attracts. So in itself, I was like, let me just continue investing in myself, investing in my mind, reading books. Like right now, I'm reading a book that I think whoever is a bookworm, it's called The Expectation Effect.
Okay.
Very powerful book. It teaches you about the expectations we have that shape our beliefs and our experiences.
Okay.
I can give several examples, but for example, one of the schools, I think it was an MIT school, they had beers, right? One of the beers was from the bar, like a normal brewer. Then the second one was beer from the MIT school itself. And they were giving it to 2 people, sampling it. And they said, now taste the 2 different, like a taste test, of course. Which one is better? When they said after that, before they said there was one of this has a special ingredient. They said it's a special ingredient.
Yeah.
Then after they drank it, the MIT guy said the special ingredient was what do you call it? What's the word? Vinegar.
Yeah.
They put vinegar in the beer.
Yeah.
After they had tasted it, it didn't change how they saw the beer.
Yeah.
Because the expectation of the special ingredient made you, even if it was bad, it shifted how you consumed the drink. And even goes to like as much as how our words have the ability to shape our taste buds. So for example, if I cook for you food and I say this was cooked with the richest, freshest ingredients from this farm in X, Y, and Z, you'll have your expectation. Your expectation will make the food even taste better. But if now someone said, I cooked this for you, it was just from the shop around the corner. Yeah. You just eat it and treat it as a regular meal to just change your hunger.
It's true.
But it's about expectation that shapes everything. So anyway.
The power of your mind is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in IB, we had to do this thing called theory of knowledge. Yeah, it was a topic and you had to present to guys. And I remember I presented on the placebo effect.
Yeah.
The placebo effect is where you're given a fake thing. Or doctors even prescribe to you something fake, but because he's in a suit, he's in the coat and everything, you believe it. And I've seen so many studies like that, when even people...
War veterans.
Where even people are told which bottle of wine was better, and they do the more expensive one at the cheaper price and the whatever, and people choose this one because of that assumption.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah, but now you know that we're talking about slowing down life, relaxing life, kutulia. Yeah. What are you using to measure success if you're removing the milestones and the accomplishment?
Wow.
Or what are you using, not success, forget success. What are you using to measure progress? Because success it's too wide. Progress without milestones and accomplishments. What are you using to measure your progress?
Yeah, like I mentioned my perspective. Like when I got my injury from my shoulder, I didn't see it as why did this happen to me. I saw it as what is God trying to teach me.
Yeah.
So that in itself is progress.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, there was a shift in my tone and my voice to myself. So I started speaking to myself with more grace. That's progress.
Yeah.
Because me, bro, I can beat myself up. My biggest struggles is in my mind. And I know it so well. You know, when you have warfare, the warfare of the mind is crazy. So I realized progress in itself sometimes is intangible, but it's in the way you carry yourself, in the way you speak to others, in the way you react, or rather in the way you respond to things. Because reacting to things is not wise. But taking, like, just even that moment to pause, just that moment in itself is progress. Because when I would speak, I would find myself always rushing, trying to keep it in a cadence where I don't lose people's attention. These things I couldn't care less who sees this or not. You know what I mean? I'm at a place where when you carry depth, no matter how you sound, you'll find the right people. The right people will also find you.
Find you.
So I've also understood the journey we're on, like even having written a book. I'm not worried about selling the book or branding myself as an author. My progress is how can I become the better version of myself compared to yesterday. You know what I mean? So I failed today, it's okay, move on. What's the way forward? Because again, the Bible says a righteous man falls 7 times but gets up again.
Yeah.
So righteousness is not a matter of your mistakes. It's a matter of who you are, an identity. So that's where I measure it. What about you? I'm curious.
Bro, it's a tough question actually.
Yeah, I tried my
Because
best.
I don't know what I've been, but I think it's maybe what you've said is that consideration is, are you better off mentally, physically, spiritually, than financially than you were yesterday?
With or without it.
You know.
That's my perspective.
Yeah. Do you feel better about Tupac? Do you feel like you're moving? Yeah, you know, that's me, because Sichangi came here the other day and he said it's important for a man to move. Yes. And he gave the example for a man is like a plane. Yes. A plane costs more money parking it in a hangar than when it's in the sky. And I was like, damn,
That's deep.
that was deep.
And actually, before I forget this, another measure of progress for me, the vision I have of my greatest self.
Yes.
What's the gap between who I am now and there?
Yes.
Because you want to be a millionaire or multimillionaire.
Yeah.
How does that version of you carry themselves?
Today.
How does he speak? How does he think? How does he move? How does he spend his time? What does he spend his time consuming? So those are things you really have to think about when you're measuring progress.
Yeah. The other day, even how I know that I'd grown kidogo was,
Yeah, Kidogo is humble. Huh?
yeah, is I'd asked my dad for something that I felt like he could do, but he just said no. And I no longer felt entitled to what is his. In fact, I felt peace. Yeah. But usually I'd be like, are you mad? You know, I'd have a back and forth with him.
Yeah.
But, you know, we even sat outside and had lunch together after that. Usually I'd go to my, you know, I'd not talk to him for like 2-3 weeks, you know.
When he said no to you.
When he'd say no to me over things I felt entitled for. Yeah. But the other day, it's like, and that's what I'm saying, it's like after these conversations that I've been having with my mentor, I no longer feel any sort of entitlement to my parents. And I think that has been a big awakening for me. Today, my dad woke up and said, yo, guys, peace, and moved to Nyanyuki and did something on his own. I don't think I'd feel bad. I'd be like, bro, it's also his life.
Yeah.
He was just a custodian of mine and a steward of mine. And I think he's done the best with what he had. But I feel no entitlement to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely, the relationship between your parents change when you become an adult.
Yeah.
They're no longer parenting you, it's now friendship.
Yeah.
If
And you
choose
stop
to.
seeing them as like superheroes and see them as humans.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
know?
that was a big, big, big thing I had to deal with.
Yeah.
When you shift from seeing your parents to almost gods.
Yes.
You ask please save me, help me,
Yeah.
provide for me. Then you pass a certain age, like they're not entitled to take care of me anymore, even by the law.
Yeah.
It's literally because now it's a relationship.
Yeah.
You know?
Even these days, I feel like that's not even I can't even say that's my house. I feel like I'm a tenant there. It's just I don't pay rent. Yeah. And I can be evicted anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah.
I have no right being there.
Yeah.
You know. But
But how does that make you feel? You mentioned sort of earlier, you in your birthday you woke up depressed. But is that something that you want? Is that something you're comfortable with?
what?
Being in your mom's and dad's house?
No, not really. It's something that I really want to change.
Okay.
Next year, inshallah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
It's been in the plans. I think I've just never taken it as seriously as I should. But
Was
now,
that complacency or
yeah, I just relaxed.
Yeah.
Comfort is a bad thing.
Yeah.
But now it's reaching a point where I'm like, it gotta change, man.
Yeah.
It gotta change, man. Yeah. But yeah, what season of life do you think you're in right now?
these questions, bruv? They're deep. The season of life I'm in right now would definitely be one of contentment. I'm learning to allow myself to go through certain emotions without attaching myself to the emotion. So it's deep because sometimes you get triggered by someone in your day, mom, friend, whatever. That ruins your whole day.
Yeah.
That one emotion, you hung on to it.
Yeah.
And it changed 24 hours out of
your
2
day.
minutes.
Yeah.
And so you become angry, you become frustrated, you see the world as everyone hates me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's so much ego and pride. Like I just finished reading a book by Ryan Holiday, Ego is the Enemy.
Yeah.
I recommend everyone to read it. I'm also about to start rereading it again. It's such a powerful book because it really reminds us how ego is so destructive that, and then also walking in offense. So I'm in a season where contentment is holistic contentment. I'm
Yeah.
holistically content with where I'm at physically. I'm working towards becoming better because, of course, I would beat myself up. I'd be sad, lost muscle on this arm, can't lift, and I'm a left-handed. I fractured my left shoulder.
Yeah.
Bro, do you know how humbling it is to brush your teeth with the opposite hand? Yeah, you have to use one hand to wash your hair, wash your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get exactly
so
what
it's a matter of that season really taught me, as I'm now transitioning out of it, contentment.
Yeah.
Really being content. And when I say content, I'm meaning like operating in that frequency of with or without.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not attaching yourself
Yeah.
to things, people, experiences, and
Yeah.
emotions.
Yeah.
That in itself is one of the greatest wisdoms that I've come out with throughout this season.
Wow.
What about you?
I definitely think I'm in a season of planting.
Okay.
Yeah. It means a lot of the things that I'm doing in this season, I might not see results today, tomorrow, in a year, but the results are going to be there.
Yeah.
I just need to continue to plant. And what also planting is teaching me is there might be some days you lack. Yes. But it's okay with that, Tupac. You don't need to let that define you. You don't need to let that change you, because you might say, oh, wow, my peer is doing better, my this is doing better, But I'm like, the planting that I'm doing in the next few seasons is when the harvest comes, people will truly see. And I'll be truly impressed that I took time to plant.
And even something I can encourage you on is think about a farmer.
Yeah.
You just plant the seeds, they focus on the ground.
Yes,
So maintaining your heart is all that matters.
exactly. And the farmer doesn't keep on digging every 1 month.
Exactly.
Yes.
There's that patience.
Yes. So now that's the peace and the patience that I'm trying to learn now.
Yeah.
Is it's our tool. Where plant, yes. You don't have, because I'm also a guy who's rushed. I lack patience and anything, but I think I'm in also a season where God is really trying to teach me patience because I'm a very impatient person. A lot of my friends will know.
Yeah.
9:30 reaches, yo, where are you? You know,
Definitely.
"Oh, yo, how can you make me wait for 30 minutes? You know, I keep on having this. I used to have this fight with Nadia all the time. Nadia, I'm coming for you at 7. Bro, she's not even ready. At 8 is when we're leaving, you know.
Yeah.
But I think there's some lessons in that,
Everything is a lesson.
you know. And God is probably trying to teach me patience because I might need that with my children. I might need that with my wife. I might need that with my business partners. I might need that with my employees, you know. So, and I think patience is a very important lesson to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a dangerous prayer to pray.
Yeah?
The prayer of patience is a very dangerous one to pray.
Yeah, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, as we wrap this up and as we get to the first section, what would younger you not believe about your current self?
I'm an author.
Wow.
I run a startup business.
Yes.
I'm in a very, very serious, committed relationship.
Wow.
You know, I can't say too much because I don't like talking about these things publicly.
Yes.
But there's a community of people that respect, love, and adore me. In not adoring is not out of like awe, but there's that like excitement
Yeah.
that people can tell I'm on a trajectory. The younger me was always a superstar. I remember the days of like going to schools, football. Every school I'd go to, I'd leave an impact. That number guy, that number 10 Muli guy, you know, there'd always be talk. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm at a place now where the younger version of me definitely would not have seen where I'm at now as my reality. I've expected by age 18 I'm a professional footballer playing in Europe, top salary. It's not happened.
Yeah.
But the path I'm on is more fulfilling for not just myself but for others.
Yeah.
And of course, my end goal was always to how can I help other people with my gift. So I'm still on that journey. But the younger version of myself is actually grateful that it's happened and it's happening. What about you?
I think my younger self would be surprised about how much pain I've gone through. But they would be so happy that instead of have letting that pain destroy you or change you, it gave you purpose. Yeah.
That's deep. From pain to purpose.
Yeah, from pain
Come
to
on.
purpose. Maybe that could be my title of my book.
Yeah, that's deep.
Not a bad title
Yeah,
though.
give me the rights for that one now.
I'll give you, what's that thing that someone writes before the
Forward.
Forward. You better write a good one. Yeah, but yeah, I think looking back, it'd be like, damn, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But it'd be like, wow, you've done it, you know?
Would he consider yourself successful?
Not in the goals he set at that age.
Okay.
Yeah. But it'd be like very unexpected. It would be the one for, it'd be something he couldn't even explain or fathom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. If your life was a movie scene, what track or what song do you think would be playing in the background?
Oh man. Skyfall.
Adele.
Yeah. James Bond. I've fallen like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally
the sky.
Yeah, in the Skyfall. That is literally
Yeah.
my life in the last few months.
Yeah.
We've been falling.
Yeah.
And
You also fell in love, so it's good.
I love is sweet.
Yeah,
But yeah, that would definitely be it. What about you?
Definitely. No Weapon, Cobes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Because I'm feeling like, no weapon against me can prosper, you know? And that's how I'm feeling, with the team, with the people I continue to meet,
yeah.
with the goals that I'm seeing happen or the things that I'm seeing happen. I'm feeling like no weapon formed me against me shall prosper,
Amen to that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And then finally, what's one habit recently introduced that is really changing your life?
Because I'm not able to do as much physical activities, I've had to really go into the school of the inner world again. And so the habit of simply being intentional with gratitude, it's helped me so much. Come out of this, even the depressive episode I mentioned, really, really helped me because I was at that place of like, what am I doing? Who is Muli? Those are the questions you ask again. Beyond the titles, beyond the labels, beyond your background, beyond what school, country, nationality you come from, who are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if someone asks you who are you, you're gonna say my name is Tupac Keith. Yeah. But if you couldn't speak, would you write down on paper Tupac Keith and you'd say this is who you are, a bunch of letters.
Yeah.
If you deep it, can't describe yourself as a bunch of letters. Your name does not define you. Your background does not define you. So I was searching for those questions of who am I beyond the accolades and all these things. I'm still trying to figure out that answer.
One of the guys who came onto the podcast, or the guest of the podcast for a few weeks ago, Tony Hutia, he says one of the exercises they do in Man Enough is you're asked to describe yourself without using your titles.
Yeah.
So it was a very interesting exercise. And I think we'll do it in a function that we'll announce to them soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Exciting. Yeah. What about you?
For me, it's definitely it's a habit I've been having for a while now, but it's now being more intentional about it. And of course, when you're doing it with a sober mind, it's even much better. But it's showing up, you know.
The habit of showing up.
Yeah, the habit. Yeah, show up tired, show up happy, show up sad, show up broke, show up broken, but just show up. Because the more you show up, the more things happen for you. And, you know, that's what I keep on telling. Like, sometimes someone will reach out to me online and tell me, oh, Tupac, you know, I'm depressed, I'm sad. I just keep on staying in my room, you know, and smoking weed and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, that's the issue. You're not showing up in life, you know. And if you sit there, it'll only get worse. But go out there, show up, take a walk, show up. The more you show up, and you show up originally, authentically, things happen for you.
That's powerful.
Yeah, just show up.
That's a powerful ending keynote right there.
Yeah, but what's your last words for the audience?
Like you said, I think movement is medicine. Because when you allow yourself to be stagnant, like I've seen it, you can't even clear your mind.
Yeah.
Physically, you start getting ailments and sicknesses and all these things. Your body needs movement, your soul needs it, and your spirit needs it. It's the oil of our beings.
Yeah.
You know? So keep moving, keep becoming. That's Motaji's slogan. Keep moving, keep becoming.
Yeah. Movement is good. Because, you know, I tell you how even nature shows us movement is important. What happens to stagnant water?
Preach.
Yeah.
Come on.
That just shows you movement is important.
Yeah.
Because we know what happens to stagnant water. Bro, but I really appreciate you coming to have this. I wouldn't even call this a podcast.
Yeah.
This conversation with me, you know. Always dropping gems, you know. It's amazing the wisdom you have. You know, you inspire me, you know.
Thank you, brother.
So I really appreciate that, and I pray success beyond your wildest dreams for everything you're trying to accomplish, because I know why and what drives you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. For those of you tuning in from home, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Just to Kick It is a Blessing podcast. Remember that no matter where you are, no matter what you are going through, just to kick it is truly a blessing. Goodbye and see you next week. Kumbaya for the Lord we praise. Ooh la la, it's a brand new day. If a hater come, we are let him stay.